Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm presenting the TRP, which is in-house database management software we have developed specifically for the skill ecosystem of India. So basically our introduction is we are an assessment agency. We are affiliated with 18 sector skill councils run under the mission Skill India mission and under the purview of NCVT and NSDC. We have conducted almost 3 lakhs assessment till now, and we have 650 plus assessors in our network. So TRP, why it has been made? Because we were facing some issues related to operational management, because we do conduct assessments in Pan India and we need to manage data and entire real-time information throughout the assessment process. So it was getting a little bit difficult. So we developed this software to get the work easier and smoother. So this is details of the TRP, the URL and the product. It is being developed in PHP programming language. So usability and accessibility of our software is, this is an automated process software. We can put data in real time, and the source of information is single source. It cannot be duplicate or this create a workflow which is very visual and very smooth, which gives us and our entire department or entire leaders the real-time information, and they can plan, they can schedule all the work very efficient way. It can be accessed through mobile also, and it can be accessed from anywhere in India. It gives us most productivity. It has increased, because earlier we have to use maintain the data through the Excels and other Microsoft Office softwares, emails, calls and all, which was taking so much of time, which was actually making our work doing double, triple work. So this has literally reduced the entire efforts of our team, and it has been proved that the efficiency is increased and the productivity is very, very good now. Technology innovation. So with TRP, we bring all those systems under one roof, and it just I explained it reduced the efforts of the team and duplicacy of the data, which gives the very concrete information to the management at a single click. This also focus on the resources. We are also planning to replicate this system and provide this system or same kind of system to the various skill partners and stakeholders of Skill India ecosystem, just like training partners or another assessment agencies and assessors, etc. Product solution in skill ecosystem. So I'll just brief it. This tag resource planning is end-to-end Skill India ecosystem management platform, and this is basically smoothing the operational process. And besides that, it is also taking care of our HR work, of our finance work, and management, administrative management also. So from the initial work, we start the first activity of our company. So this is being started, entered or recorded in the TRP, and to the end result, it has stepwise processes in it, and it records everything in the software and provides the information whenever we want it. So these are some testimonials from our team. Right now, approximately 80 to 100 team members of our company are using this software on daily basis. And these are some testimonials they have given, how it has helped them to improve their productivity, improve their planning, and getting the everything in a smoother way. Some snapshots of our software are there. So this first is the dashboard of the software, where various menus are there for providing us the concrete information for the entire operational activities. Finance dashboard is for the providing finance related activities. There are some sector ranking, means it can show you that which business area, which client is giving you how much business, or what are you doing in which sector, how can you improve that, where are you lacking and all. So this information can be collected from here. And here it is EOD activity. So basically it is for the daily reporting from our team. So each and every team member has to record their activities over here, and they can send this EOD activity to their superior through this feature only. Through the operations, we manage entire operations of our system. Here you can see in the dashboard, there are showing that how many batches or assessments are planned for today, how many results are pending for the last 7 days. So these all can be viewed here. This is the basically a stepwise process which we have to follow. That first process, once the first process is being completed, then only second process can be started. And it is also very helpful that we can anytime we can check that where are we right now, which batch is lacking in where, which at what step, what action we have to take, what are the issues team is facing, what are the issues the center is facing. So these all can be managed from here, tracked from here. Also, if there are any queries, any issues, so ticket can be raised and this can be recorded over here. So we can check here which batch is having the issue, which batch is not able to complete. So we can check it over there, and we can further plan to resolve the issue. This is the EOD section. Here you can see that, here you can see that employee has recorded their all activity which they have done on that particular day. So from here we can see that what was their KRA, KPIs, and what are they doing. If the all the work which was assigned to that person has been completed or not, at what stage of work is going on, we can follow with them, and we can guide them that you have to complete this by this time or something. And this, it is when it is being sent to the superiors, then it is shown on the email like this. So you can track everything that this batch ID has been monitored today, result of this batch has been published today, assessor has been assigned for this particular batch today. So you can track from here that what status, what work is going on particular which batch. These are the consolidated report. From here you can see that how much work you have done in a month or in a year or particular in a sector. There are various kinds of filters we have developed in this. So you can see multiple reports through this feature. Here we have created a finance related module also, where you can input the all bank details of your employees and your freelancer examiners, assessors. And this and entire payment payables can be managed from here itself. This is the report which is being published by the assessor. So you can also check whether the team is biased in allocating batches to the examiners, or whether all your examiners are getting equal business or not, whether there are some malpractices going in giving the business to X or to Y. So these all can be checked from here, and necessary action can be taken. This is the sector and month. Okay, sure. So this is the future roadmap which we have planned for our TRP software, TRP program. So we are planning to introduce an IT support help desk at our end for resolving the tickets and issues which are being faced by our users. So, and second is that we are planning to send some alerts and notifications through the WhatsApp or email to the concerned person and spoke or operations head that the particular work is pending from so many days, and so that it can create some kind of urgency in their mind to complete that task. And also, just a minute, we are planning to install an AI-enabled chatbot for this, so that users, if they are facing any issue, so they have not to wait that the IT team is IT team has to attend their call and answer their queries or something. So we can introduce chatbot for the basic queries which normally users face. And also we are planning to integrate it with the mobile app, WhatsApp and all, to ensure that ease is being developed or being provided to our entire user base. Also, we are planning to replicate it for various stakeholders in the skill ecosystem. And right now we have already done it for one of the NGO, which is into skill ecosystem for providing trainings and all. And also we are planning to prepare or to make an separate strategic business unit for them for this software, so that we can provide this software on a SaaS model to entire skill ecosystems and the customers which are approaching to us right now. So thanks. Any questions? I'll be happy to answer.
Ma'am, thank you for your presentation. I just want to know who has been the most satisfied user of your organization, and what has been the feedback from that organization?
Okay, so basically our operations team who handles the daily operations, day-to-day operations, they are very much happy and very much satisfied with this software, because their entire activities is being recorded there. They do not, suppose they are not at office, they are at some other place, or they are on leave or something. And at that time, they have to check that what happened on the particular batch and what is going on, or is there any issue or anything. So they have the real time data available with them. They can check from there, they can coordinate with their team who is spread over the India, and they can provide them a quick solution, quick reply of anything which is required by them. So it actually helping them in improvising their efficiency. Also that it has actually created a kind of trust, a kind of, you can say, very genuine relationship is being built between the assessor and their operation team, that yes, our queries are resolved and answered, or our entire activities is monitored in a very great way.
Ma'am, thank you for the clarification, but I just want to know the name of that organization. You have made a general statement, which you have been
Okay,
telling.
so basically we are using this software in-house only. So this is the
Okay. Now I got the reply. You are using for the in-house. Okay.
yes, and right now we are replicating it for another customers.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Ma'am, this is simply a creation of a software for system improvement or consolidation of data.
Yes, basically it is that.
Okay, so what is innovative in this?
So basically in skill ecosystem, there is no such software or no such kind of program is available who can integrate all the activities of skill ecosystem. So this is a one kind of software which integrates all the activity from day one to the last, or execution, means getting the payment or releasing the payment to the assessor. And as their assessor are also accessing it, so they are very comfortable. They have gained a good faith that yes, our entire work, because of what happens in this field now, that examiners or assessors assess the batches, because they are in thousand numbers and they work pan India. So sometimes they forgot to generate the invoice, sometimes the agency forgot to make them payments for whatever reason. So this is the software which is maintaining entire activity, consolidating entire thing in say one place and accessible to everyone. So this is a kind of thing that they are so happy कि मैम हमारा कुछ भी सब चीज यहाँ पे हमें मिल जाता है, because they are from very basic level. तो उनको ये बहुत impress करता है, and for that they are very interested to get connected with us. And that is why some of our peer are approaching us to provide them this software on a SaaS model.
Okay, good enough. Thank you.
Startup called as Bodhami. So Bodhami is a national award winning platform from the government of India, DPIIT. We are in the space of career counseling, corporate readiness, and learning. So just to tell you about what Bodhami is. So Bodhami is coined from a Sanskrit word. It means that it is made up of two words. Bodh means intelligence or knowledge, and Ami means you. So anybody who wants to acquire knowledge or intelligence on the platform can come on the platform. What is our vision? So our vision is to help students and professionals realize their true potential. We believe that every single individual or a student has a lot of potential. But how do we do it is we align them to the right career path. We also align them to the right personalized learning interventions, which has to be given to that individual to attain to that attain the particular potential. These are some of our numbers right now. So we have close to around 2,000 odd career counselors, NGOs, and partners whom we work with across India who are certified by us. These are across 250 odd cities in India. More than 40,000 students have taken professional and the subject-wise assessments on our platform for career aptitude testing. We are in more than 350 cities in India and 4 countries. We also work with 300 odd schools who use our platform for career assessment and guidance. And we also have more than 100 odd partners who are affiliated with us. We are a company who is under the Goa IT startup policy, and we've also got a grant from the government of Goa. These are some of our significant achievements, which we are very proud about. So we won a national award out of 30 the top startups, 60,000 startups in the country. We won a national award. We are in the top 36 who won the national award, particularly in the space of rural enablement or rural impact. This is where we have enabled a rural story of reaching out to a lot of rural students and masses to enable career counseling and career guidance right at the grassroots level. We are also under the startup promotion cell. We've got a seed grant of from top 5 startups in the state of around 10 lakh rupees. We've also represented India on multiple occasions as being top startup in the country. So we've represented India in the India-Sweden Innovation Day. We have represented India in the top startup festival, which happens across the world in France, which is called as Viva Tech. We've represented India in the SARC summit, which typically happens between top 8 nations where startups exchange their ideas and thoughts. So there also we have represented India. We're directly mentored by the Startup India, Invest India teams and the Startup Promotion Cell Goa. We've also got good visibility across the regions where we've got covered on national channels like Delhi Doordarshan. We were part of the Startup Champions, which was broadcasted across India, across 52 weeks. We're part of the government official startup showcase. We are one of those top 70 startups in the country who have actually got featured on government website, and also covered by BBC and other channels as well in terms of our outreach, basically. But what is it exactly we do, and what is the problem we are trying to solve today? So this slide will tell you details about what are the problems we are trying to look at. In terms of students, right? The students have a lack of awareness when it comes to finding out which are the right careers for them. I mean, look at the numbers, very staggering. Like 45% of the students end up making wrong career choices. So only 7 career choices are aware to one particular student, for example, like doctors or or engineers and so on. In fact, 95% of the schools and institutions don't even have access to career counselors, which is a hard reality. And if you look at India, there is already a scarcity of more than 1.5 million career counselors available in the country. On the other side, let's look at professionals. Even when they pass out, there is a lot of skill gap. So more than 95% of engineers, as quoted by NASSCOM, are unemployable in the industry, which is quite shocking. Even people who are on the job, 70% of such people are not even happy with their jobs. And this is a massive problem to look at, right from assessment to guidance to learning. It is a massive problem, and this is what we are trying to solve. Now, how are we trying to solve it? We have a very stringent framework which is on our cloud-based AI platform. The framework is made up of 3 steps: assessment, guidance, and learning. In terms of assessment, what happens is any student or professional would come onto our platform and take a career or a skill test. We would then look at the interest, the psychometric analysis, the personality, and the aptitude or skills of that particular individual, and draw out a profile of that particular individual. And then we would use our artificial intelligence or machine learning models to compare this particular person with 10,000 other similar profiles for whom we have done psychometric analysis. Based on that, we would recommend a very personalized learning plan for that particular individual. Now, this plan is made up of courses where all these courses are free and readily available on our platform. This is a view of the machine learning or artificial intelligence. It is highly statistical, a validated model with 85% significance level, which is very good. And it is based on 10,000, actual personas or people who have actually been studied professionally, and more than 2 million rules are coded as part of this artificial intelligence model to suggest the right careers. All our products, are driven by this artificial intelligence models. This is a view of our, top-notch reports which come. These are like some of the career reports and the details of the career reports. Every student gets a view about what are the top streams for them, what are the top careers for them, what is their skill score, what are their personality looks like, what is their intelligent or skill quotient or physical quotient, for example, what are the detailed learning recommendations required for me to get into that particular career, and so on. So this is a holistic report which comes for over 70 pages, which has detailed explanation about every single dimension required for the student. Now, what we did is, with all this high-end technology, when we started in 2018, it took us roughly 2 years to build this entire technology or a platform, at scale. And the entire platform is on the cloud. So we partnered with Government of Goa, which is what I'm going to talk about today. The Government of Goa selected Bodhami for a state-wise career counseling and career aptitude testing program. This is the first ever of its kind where Government of Goa was implementing such a program, and it was implemented using digital platform and on scale, basically. So what we did was, we trained around 700 teachers across 5 locations in the state. And these teachers then went and trained other teachers in their schools and onboarded those teachers and counselors as well. We looked at around 20,000 students across 250 odd schools which used our platform. More than 900 device types were used on our platform. So each of the students came on the platform. They went through the complete assessment. They got analysis of their complete report and counseling, on the platform. Now, if you look at some of these pictures, some of them are in very, very remote areas of Goa where, such an initiative in terms of career report or career aptitude testing or career counseling was never heard of. It was a first of its kind experience for the school administration, the teachers, and also the students. Very important that to enable success of such a program at scale, right? It is we need to create visibility of such data across different levels and for different stakeholders. Say, for example, for government, we created government dashboards to look at area-wise, taluka-wise, district-wise, region-wise, and school-wise, enrollments and counselings done, and so on. For the school, we created different dashboards in terms of looking at what are the various classes under the school, which classes are doing well, which students under which classes are doing well, what is the skill gap in the respective school, and so on, and what are the interventions which the school can take. Similarly, at the teacher level, for the class teacher, we created dashboards for the particular students in terms of which students are doing well, what is the overall profile of the student or the class at large, and so on. And similarly, for the student in itself, what are the learning interventions I should take, or what are the various career options is available to me, and how to get in such a career. That was also given to the student level on a student dashboard. Now, with such a large program, what typically happens is there are a lot of challenges, which we envisioned, and there were 5 definite, pillars we used in terms of making sure that these challenges were addressed. The first challenge was more in terms of program support. Now, how do we look at this 20,000 students answering tests at any point in time and supporting the students and also this teachers? So we trained the teachers. We looked at, we formed three WhatsApp group which were generic, where we had a queue-based support system on WhatsApp. We handled most of these calls in local language. We also looked at school-based WhatsApp groups where the groups were more than 1,500. We then also looked at training, because that was a very important aspect for the entire program. We looked at self-help trainings in terms of video and manuals, which were already present on the dashboard of every single teacher logging onto the platform. We looked at all the FAQs, which are very simple queries, all L1 level support, which was readily available to them on their dashboard itself. We then use the train the trainer model, so that each of the head trainer can go to the respective schools and train the respective counselors, so that more number of counselors and teachers can be part of the program. We also added computer teachers, on top of this to enable, technical or technology literacy for the respective schools. Another big problem is, these teachers, and they run a lot of programs. So one of the things you will realize is they're not very motivated to, to do additional another program. So motivation was a key for us to ensure that people are very motivated. So how do we do that? So what we did is we started looking at giving out certifications for the teachers who complete the program and certification for the school who complete the program. So each of these teachers and each of these school were very, very highly motivated, because we found out that most of these express their certificates on social media, which is what you can see here. Both the teachers and the schools, they started sharing their joy of getting certification. We also shared something called as leaderboards. There are school and teacher leaderboards which we shared. So that also was quite competitive, so that who completes 100% certification and 100% assessment of their entire school. So that is something which we started doing. We also had audit on the system, so ensure that compliance, and compliance of processes. So to make sure that the school completely follows all the processes. The platform had flags which highlighted what are the different school and teacher level completion audits. We also had processes defined with the government education departments, so that we look at exemptions and extension cases and so on. And as said, there were also live access given to the government, live access given to the schools and the teachers. They could look at their own reports, they could look at the live dashboards and other interventions which are required as part of the program. So this is how we tackled the kind of challenges which would come as part of the program. Now, just as a feedback out of the program, we got an overall feedback of 8.4 on the program. This is the first time happening in the state of Goa. We got a total feedbacks recorded from the institutions. 545 feedbacks were recorded. 250 odd certifications were given now, and 700 teacher certifications were given out. We handled roughly 190 to 200 calls a day on a daily basis. So overall feedback was 8.4 on the program. In terms of impact on ecosystem, because the report is around 70 odd pages with all details of what are the institutes in Goa and so on for the respective career. Every student multiplied by 20,000 students, it comes to around 40 odd lakhs of paper, which we ultimately ended up saving, which comes to around 450 trees, which we saved. So not a single page or a paper or a certification was given in a printed form. Everything was digitized and on the platform, accessible at any point in time, lifetime, for the students and for the teachers as well. These are some of the sample findings, because it's very important that we take feedback of the aptitude testing and career counseling. So these were some of the sample findings. If you look at the image of Goa economic survey, so Goa is divided into rural, urban, and semi-urban. I mean, majority of the population is into semi-urban and rural. And if you look at the scores of aptitude testing, it also signifies almost similar. So the people who were the students in the rural, they got scores of around 48 on an average. The students who were in the semi-urban and rural got a little lesser score of up to around 43, and some of them even recorded scores of around 39, which was very low in the rural space. Now, if you look at how that Goa score compares with the rest of India in terms of schools in Gujarat, Chennai, and Coimbatore, because we are a national platform, we have data across schools. Goa scored on an average of 55 compared to the other schools. Goa was quite less in terms of average, basically. These are some of the slice and dice of data in terms of how the skill analysis was done across the state. If you see Goan students, right, they are like they lack a lot in analytical, numerical, performing arts, language. One of the things you will notice is very less students answer competitive exams here in Goa. Very less students look at IAS, IPS, IITs, IIMs, or any other competitive exams. And that's also because of the fact that some of these skills, typically the analytical and the language skills and numerical and performing arts, ideally they should be improved or scaled in terms of communication and so on and so forth, which is what also the outcomes of this entire program is telling us basically. Another surprising thing is rural versus urban. If you look at typically the urban population, they're more interested in science and maths related streams after 10th standard. But the same people in rural and semi-rural, they're more interested in arts and commerce, which is quite there, and their access to colleges are also there in terms of their rural localities basically. Similarly, after their 12th, a lot of these people in urban, they want to get into IT, engineering, and finance basically. But the same when it comes to rural and semi-urban, most of them wanted to get into police, education, teaching, hospitality, sports, those kind of other different professions basically. So if you look at the beauty of this data which we have got, right, we are able to find out exactly what are the interventions required for the student, what students should be doing, what are the students' interests, their personality and their skill gaps, and what are the learning and recommendations which are required to be taken. So from the student level, we then are able to find out for the entire class, for the school, for the taluka, for the area, how does the data look like in terms of skill gaps, in terms of interventions?
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. You have another 1 minute.
Sure, no problem. I'm almost done. So based on that, we gave these roadmap in terms of driving skill upliftment for the government of Goa. So particularly for students, we gave the suggestions which came out was some of the programs related to soft skill training has to be driven for students based on the skills we have suggested, life skills training, technology related courses or video courses, skill upliftment courses for the students, interview and job preparation courses for the students, and subject wise test series for the students. Similarly for the teachers, for the government counselors, they have to be they're certified with career counseling certifications. Teachers has to be upskilled and so on and so forth. So there were 8 dimensions of recommendations as part of the roadmap we suggested to the government as part of the outcome. But the beauty of it is every single individual on part of the program knew exactly what to do after their 10th and 12th. And this has never happened before in the state of Goa. So we are very fortunate to get this program and execute this program to 100% efficacy. Thank you very much, Jury. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Very good presentation. But what is the underlying algorithm by which you decide that the student which you are examining or carrying out, giving some counseling, that it is fit for such and such job, whereas his or her aspiration may be different? But you are saying that you are best for the mass communication. He says, no, I want to go to engineering. So how do you explain that gap?
Yeah, excellent question, sir. Because this is a very typical question which we get. If you look at what we do now, sir, we measure the interest of the particular student. What are the subjects, what are the elements this particular student is interested in? So one of the dimensions or the core dimension is interest, which is what the student shows or puts on the system. The other dimension is the skill or the aptitude. What are the invariable skills in terms of holistic skill? There are 14 odd skills which we measure. So what are the skills which the student is good at? Now we have data from both the sources. We have the data from the interest. We have the data from the skill. What we do is we look at the combined recommendation of wherever the student is saying I'm interested and wherever the student is having the high amount of skills. So we look at that particular quadrant and suggest those careers which are highly fit in terms of his interest, his or her interest, or his or her skills basically. And therefore the recommendation plot is comes out with a quadrant view which shows what are the top careers in that particular quadrant. You should be choosing where your interest is high and your skill is also very high.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
In your presentation, you have mentioned SIN number. So are you operating in Canada as well?
No, this is this corporate identification number, which is based out of Goa, sir. So it's
Oh.
very much Goan startup, very much Indian startup. We're not in Canada.
Okay.
In fact, a lot of people think that Goa is a place of coming for party and things like that. But we are like a signature case study in Goa, where we are the only Goan startup to have ever got a national award across 60,000 startups in the country, basically.
Okay. You have shown an excellent use of information technology, and the way you have presented your case is excellent. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your feedback and help.
Apologies. And currently, we are into multiple domain businesses, but for now, I'm presenting here one of our program, that is SKOCH Kamao, that is under Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. The program we are okay, before I go further, I'd like to introduce more about the company. That company is established in 2008. We are based in Bhopal, and we have pan-India presence, and we have achieved some milestones, like we have crossed to 120,000 candidates trained, and we have placed more than 85,000 candidates. We are affiliated with more than 16 sector skill councils, and we are impaneled with 28 plus government departments for conducting those skill development programs. We have covered 13 states. We have more than 200 training centers and 1,000 digital literacy centers. And we are also affiliated with ISO certification. We have NASSCOM member, and we are also part of CII membership. We are affiliated with NSDC for conducting skill development programs. And we are also affiliated with Navsrijan University for basic education services. These are the previous names of the government department we have worked with, and we are continuously working with. We have served these departments, and as you can see that we have covered many states and many districts from the country. This is our mission statement and vision statement, that we want to be a part of evidencing and creating a future which belongs to tomorrow's leader and today's beginner. And our mission to leverage all our expertise and capabilities and alliances to deliver values. And our values to conduct ourselves with integrity and be transparent, reliable, and committed. We treat everyone with due respect while striving for excellence across all verticals. This is our organogram, like the hierarchy of the organization. We have like different directors for each verticals, and the hierarchy goes follows. Now, if I say about the brief of the project SKOCH Kamao, it is also called Learn and Earn. The scheme was implemented by the Ministry of Minority Affairs in 2013 and 14. Since the inception, we are affiliated with Ministry of Minority Affairs, and we are delivering our services in this scheme. Actually, this is a scheme mainly focused on training the minority youth of the country. And the main object of the scheme is to promote their livelihood skills and give them jobs and provide them a better livelihood. These are the sector skill councils which we are affiliated with. We are working for these sector skill council. We are selecting aspirational courses as required or as suggested by the ministry. And this is our project and training methodology, how we start and how we continue the project. First, we assess the market. What is actual need of the industry? What kind of manpower they are requiring? And we find the trade feasibility, like if we train the candidates in the domestic data entry operator, will we be able to place them in the suitable industries? Then we find a better training center with a better infrastructure facilities, as we do provide residential training where we mobilize the candidate from the very remote locations, from the villages, and we have to bring them to the centers and the hostel. So we identify the best suitable infrastructure which can offer the best facilities for their residential services and training services. Then we have a pool of highly trained trainers. We select them through the regular interview processes, but yes, our trainer are also certified from the NSDC. After certification, we start the mobilization of candidate. We follow many methods of mobilization, like door-to-door and distributing pamphlets, running ads on the newspapers, on radios. We also set up canopies, and we do interact with local village people like sarpanch or community managers to identify who are the candidates who really need such programs to build their livelihood. And then we conduct an aptitude test, and on the basis of the test, we select the candidates, like if they are able, general tests like computer skills, basic mathematics, general communication, and behavioral skills. After the scoring we evaluate of their aptitude test, we enroll them to the scheme, and the scheme is also followed by a very defined curriculum. Let's say if we are talking about one job role, job role is like a course in the industry, it calls job role. If we are talking about the domestic data entry operator or general duty assistant, there is a particular guideline, particular qualification pack in which several national occupational standards are mentioned. We have to follow each and every standard, and we have to select each and every object of that NOS, that it is being followed and the training is being delivered in the right manner. So there's a curriculum, there's a activity come lesson plan for each day, for each courses. We have to prepare that curriculum, and that curriculum is also approved by the Sector Skill Council. Then we do add in their personality development, the candidate, not just for their skills, but also for their personality, for the communication and their grooming. After the complete training, we go for the practical training and mock test, like how the assessment will look like and what exactly they have to perform. And they also appear on on-job trainings, like the industry they are going to work for. They also get a time to understand this industry. They visit this industry, they understand the working, and then they can be selected as their employee. Then there is a third-party assessment and certification process, which is operated by the Sector Skill Council. And after the assessment, we initiate the placement of the candidate. It means we organize the campus drives, we organize the placement job fairs, and we offer the job. We get the offers from the employers to the candidates for job. And after the final placement, we do have a check whether the candidates are having a really good position, or they are doing well. We collect the the employer feedback as well, and on the basis of the feedback we work accordingly. And this is the hierarchy on our center. This is the team we have which works for the whole skill development project. And we do have built our in-house software to control, to monitor the project. This is just a snapshot you can see. Here you can see the project name, Learn and Earn 1617, what target we got, and we can find out each and everything here. We have created a project timeline under which we have decided each and every date, like from the day of inception or signing the MOU, within next 30 days, each and every center has to be accredited. So such kind of timeline is already prepared, and we follow this, and we monitor this through our inbuilt software. And this software also connects all the stakeholders of this industry, like we are training partners, the employers, the student, and the sector skill councils or the assessment agency, all are connected on that particular software. This is our in-house software, just to ensure the better performance of the project. And this is how we organize training. Like we have biometric attendance system. and we have live CCTV monitoring, and also the government department who have given us the project, who have given us the target of training, they can also go through that CCTV link, and they can check whether the students are really attending the classes or not. In the picture, you can see the one course we are currently offering, that is called Panch Karma Technician. After the COVID, there's hype, I mean, not hype, I should say. There is a requirement of medical professionals. So we are training candidates under GDA and other courses like MLT. And this is one of the course we are currently doing, that is called Panch Karma Technician. These are some objects, like under other projects we have followed. Such facilities are available in our residential area, like the environment, the safe and secure residential facilities, separate security guard and warden, in-house laundry, in-house mentor support, mess, plant food. Everything is there. CCTV monitoring, medical assistance. Everything is available for the candidates. And this is the real scenario, overcoming the challenges. Why we thought that we should deliver our services in skill development, as we found that there is a skill shortage and mismatch undermining productivity and this growth. I mean, we have observed that people are ready to work, but they do not have efficient or adequate skills to perform. And industries also have jobs open, but they are not finding the right skilled people. So this, we have found out that we should do a skill gap analysis. And on the basis of that skill gap analysis, we can identify which sector need more attention. And we have used NSDC and KPMG reports to do such studies. And we have also connected with the several district coordinators and directors of skill development schemes. They have helped us to identify such gaps, and we have chosen our courses, our job roles according to this gap. Also, under this SKOCH Group scheme, we have given focus on primary and secondary education, as we do understand that skill development is focused on the secondary education as well. But there is a gap where people are not even have completed their primary education. Actually, this is a scheme just for the underprivileged candidate who are a school dropout or college dropout. So the candidates who are a school dropout who have not completed their basic educations, we do offer them basic level of education from like 8th and 10th class. And that is why we are affiliated with Navsrijan University to get them the certification of primary education. And we have also identified that it is not possible to provide the right infrastructure on each places. We have found that there is a lot gap.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. I request
Yeah.
you to please conclude now.
Sure, I will sum it up. So, okay. So this is our placement tracking method, how we track the candidate, whether they are working or not. We call them, we physically verify on the employer's premises whether they are working or not. And these are some of the coverage we have got in our newspapers or some other places. And as I have explained that we have our own ERP system, and we are planning to, connect it with the government portals to enhance the performance of it. And we are maximizing our outreach, and we are trying to cover all the district and state of India to provide such training programs to the candidates who are really in need. And we are majorly focusing in empowering women, as these government schemes have provided us that there should be minimum 33% of reserved seat for women, but we have always achieved more than 50% training seats for the women. And our basic or our prime object is to fill the industry gap and fill the demand supply. And the success ratio of placement candidates candidate satisfaction through focusing on availing job in local area and longer retention of candidate as they are employed in sector where they want to work, and uplifting the bringing attention towards the informal sector. And this is our future roadmap that we are aiming to train more than 10 lakhs candidate by 2030. And basically this training is for youth from the age of 16 to 35. And here I conclude it. If you have any questions, please you may proceed.
Thank you, sir. Your target is to reach 10 lakhs, to train 10 lakhs persons by 2030. What is the current level?
So currently we are 1,20,000 plus.
And how many have been placed?
So we have placed more than 85,000.
Okay, okay. And by your experience, which sector is
Sorry.
lacking skills? Means which sector, for example, in paramedical staff, there is also a huge shortage. So what is your experience? Which sector is facing skill shortage?
Sir, as far as I have seen, that they have introduced 40 sector skill councils. So almost
Okay.
each sector is covered. I mean, there are
Okay.
job roles for each sector. It is just on, I mean, depends on the demand of the basic, the local area and the industry. If they find that there is a gap, they will introduce such courses to us, that they will release some tenders and give us the target to train people under that course. Or we have to submit our report that we have certain industries who have certain demands of this job role, so we can also propose.
Okay, okay, okay. And your work area is within Madhya Pradesh only?
No, sir. We are working in Pan India. We have all recently covered our program in Jammu and Kashmir. We have trained near to 950 candidates in past 6 months. That is
Okay, okay.
Poonch.
Great, great,
Yeah.
great. Thank you. Thank you, please.
Thank you so much, sir.
What is your take on training Indian youth to get a job abroad?
Sir, we are closely working with NSDC for the program called TITP, Technical Internship Training Program. That is being organized with Japanese industry. Government is also supporting us for conducting such programs. And recently, we are also going to connect with Gulf countries as well.
So how do you do that?
So we have like our industry partners. We have created a consortium partners, like the other companies have Magic Billion and some other consultancy providers who were already into the overseas placements. So we have connected with them, and we are offering through providing them the basic skill training and the language training, whichever country they are being selected for. Like for Japanese, we have our center in Indore, where we are giving Japanese language training, and we can place them after when they get their skill completed.
Okay, good enough. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And it's really a pleasure talking with all of you, and it's a great privilege to present in front of SKOCH Award jury. We are a company called Biocon Academy, which is a CSR arm of Biocon Limited, Bangalore. Our primary interest is adding value and enhancing skills. And I'm very happy, and as well as on the other side, I'm very sad that even Damodar and Rohit was specifically mentioning about the skill gap that exists in various sectors. And one of the skill gap which we are actually working on is from the bioscience area. Particularly, we are seeing the employability quotient of the students who are belonging to the bioscience and the life science areas are very less, particularly because of the skill deficit. A lot of times they apply to the jobs, and most of the times they are looked at as a freshers, and most of the time the opportunity is given to the people who are with year or two experience. When we actually pondered on it, we could clearly figure out that the elements that are associated with the skill gap. One is the students are really good at the scientific principles. Maybe they're a little bit not sure about the applied knowledge when it comes to the industry. The second is the experimentation-based learning, which they are going through in the colleges or in the universities, are not really helping them to understand the overall process-based learning which is happening in the industry. As far as industry is concerned, process-based understanding is very important, even though they have the experimentation-based learning. And third is the lack of hands-on training. In India, of course, all of us can share our experience, like not every equipment can be used by every student. A lot of times it is a demonstration. So every student may not have a good hands-on training in all these equipments. And the fourth and most important part is the lack of professional skills and communication skills, because of which the student find it difficult to get a job quickly. In spite of the fact they have a very strong scientific principles, they have experimentation-based learning and a bit of hands-on training, the lack of skill to articulate the words from the minds to words is very, very less when compared in the Indian student population. These are the 4 reasons why we started the Biocon Academy. When we started Biocon Academy, one of the important things we wanted to create is a globally competitive biotech ecosystem in India. The reason why we specifically wanted to use the term competitive ecosystem is because biotech is one of the fast-growing sector in India, particularly double-digit CAGR. So if this growth has to be supported, then naturally the organizations need some amount of trained manpower, whereas the need for the training, the time the organization spend for the training can be as less as possible. That is number one. Number two, through which what we can do is that we are trying to play a very important role in bridging the gap that exists between the academic deliverables and the industry expectation through skill-based training programs. What we want to be and what we are thriving to is to become a center of excellence for advanced learning in applied biosciences. In next few slides, I would share my experience that we are almost there. We have created a very clear model through which we want to deliver this entire skill-based curriculum. One is we are very clear that we want to work on a collaborative model, which means that we have created short-term training programs, and these training programs are delivered conceptually by the theoretical partners, that is the education partners. We have tied up with Keck Graduate Institute in California, BITS Pilani in India, MS Ramaya in Bangalore, and JSS in Mysore. The selection of these organizations are not very random. We really went into the details of the faculty and figured out these faculty are either coming from the industry or currently working in the industry and working as ad hoc faculty in these universities and institutions. So they are not actually giving a theoretical background, they are sharing the experience. That is exactly what we want our students to gain from this theory. So it is not a regular lecture, it is more of an experience sharing lectures. The second one is the functional visit. In the morning, there are a couple of lectures. In the afternoon, we send the students to the Biocon group of companies into various departments to expose the students to various departments. Because most of the time when somebody comes from BTech Biotech or MSc Biotech or MSc Microbiology, most of the time they know only R&D department. But when we are exposing them to actually different departments, that is when they start knowing about quality control, quality assurance, regulatory affairs, research and development, manufacturing, and so on. This is also not sufficient unless we bridge the gap from the perspective of hands-on training. So we have tied up with Biozine, Thermo Fisher, JSS Hospital, and Merck Limited for providing hands-on training to these students in the specific areas that will support them to gain employment in the areas of manufacturing, quality control, quality assurance, and regulatory affairs, as well as research and development. As we were discussing in the previous slide, these three are the technical deliverables, which is really not sufficient unless it is covered by the professional skills training, which will allow them to articulate their mind to words. This is very, very important because we are covering this entire thing through a campus to corporate training program, which includes the communication skill training, presentation skills training, email etiquette training, working in teams training, conflict management, time management, stakeholder management, negotiating skills, writing good resume, and giving good interviews. These are the areas we are training these students, for which we have an in-house communication coach who is training these students on a day-to-day basis and monitoring their progress. That is the model we have, and the model really cannot become very successful unless we have a very strong pedagogy, which is completely different from what their pedagogy they have seen in their colleges and the universities. At Biocon Academy, what we do is that we are sharing the presentations and the training topics at least 2 to 3 days beforehand, before the presentation is being made or the topic is being dealt. So the students are supposed to come prepared for the class. So to understand whether the students are coming prepared for the class, we are starting with the quiz. The quiz will allow us to understand how much they have actually captured the knowledge from the material which we have given. From there, the actual class starts. That's the proactive learning model we have. And because it is an adult learning situation, the chalk and talk method is not really worthwhile. That's what we realized. So we have created a project-based learning where we are allowing the students to put together the knowledge which they are gathering from the theory, from the functional visit, and from the hands-on training. And then they create a conceptual model for themselves, model companies for themselves, and present it every other week. This way, we are also able to understand whether they are progressive in the way they are learning the subject. And third, of course, is the case study discussions. We call out some of the very important observations from the regulatory agencies, and we share this without the name of the organization to the students for them to practice how to approach a problem solving. If there is an observation, if there is a regulatory observation, how to actually solve that. These are some of the very important work we are doing through case study discussions. These are some of the pictures, as you can see. The first picture on the top left is the project-based presentation. In the slide, they are mentioning the organization chart for their own company. And the others are the case study discussions. This is the model in which we started the program, and the model remains same for all the programs. In 2013, we incepted the company called as Biocon Academy, and in 2014, we started with the first batch. The first batch was with the collaboration with Tech Graduate Institute at California. The program name is Biocon KGA Certificate Program in Biosciences. This program covers the entire value chain of the biomanufacturing. So it can be either the production or it can be quality control, quality assurance, as I told you, the technical departments. All the departments are covered in one program. Later, we diversified into 2015. In 2015, we started offering a program in the areas of quality control microbiology in the name of Applied Industrial Microbiology in collaboration with BITS Pilani. In 2015, again, we started a program in the areas of bioscience management. This is specifically for the employees of Biocon to help them to connect the business deliverables, the technical deliverables, to the business impact. This is a very, very successful program we have seen, liked by the management of Biocon. And in 2017, we continued with the programs for the students. For pharmacy students, we introduced the program in clinical development. We completed a couple of batches. In 2017, we introduced faculty development program, specifically to train the faculty who are teaching in the bioscience areas in the colleges and the universities. This way, we are able to create a larger impact with the students. Because after this faculty go through the training, the way they orient their subject is completely different. That is the feedback they have shared with us. In 2019, we started the program in quality control analytical with collaboration of MS Ramaya. And in 2021, we started JSS AHES certificate program in regulatory affairs. So as you can see here, more than 880 students have passed out across the board. And we are very fortunate and we are very happy to share that all programs are running in 100% placement record. And these are some of the programs which are already in progress, some of the batches which are already in progress. That is batch 23 of Bioscience, batch 9 of Applied Industrial Microbiology, and batch 2 of Global Regulatory Affairs. These are the top companies who are normally recruiting from Biocon Academy. As I was telling you in the beginning, our objective is not to create a source pool of talent for Biocon Limited. Our idea is to create a source pool for the entire Indian biotech ecosystem. That is the reason why Dr. Kiran Majumdar, who is the chief mentor for Biocon Academy and the chairman and managing director for Biocon Group has given a clear directive that the number of students placed outside of Biocon should be always more when compared to inside of Biocon. And as you can see here, we are catering most of the known and startup biotech companies in the life science industry. As I was telling you, 7 batches, 5 courses over 9 years. The placement record stands to be 100% right from the first batch. So we are really very happy to share this with you. As shared by some of my colleagues in the earlier presentation, we are also very proud to say that we are very focused on supporting the women in science, returning mothers and teachers who are moving back into the industry. So the segment of women is 74% and men is 26% from proportion perspective from the overall students. And this is the same proportion we are placing in the industry. So naturally, we are helping the industry to have a very good diversity in place. And the distribution of the candidates who are coming from across the country to study in Biocon Academy. As you can see here, majorly it has contributed from Karnataka and Tamil Nadu from vicinity perspective, but that doesn't stop any other state to send their students into Biocon Academy, which is situated in Bangalore in Karnataka, which includes Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Odisha, and Delhi. We have removed some of the states which has representation which is less than 4%. Otherwise, actually, we have representations from almost all the states of the country. So a very important work we are doing as we are having the objective of strengthening the biotech ecosystem. As you can see here, the majority of the students are placed outside of Biocon, that is the maroon segment, and the blue is the Biocon segment. So we are almost meeting our objective, and the students are not placed in any one department. As you can see here, the spread of placement across the departments. Scalability, we are very proud that we are also catering this program to the Malaysian students. We are enrolling the Malaysian students because it is an online one from the education partner side, and the afternoon session is conducted at Biocon in Malaysia. We have also presented our model to other companies like Indus Biopharma and Dr. Reddy's, and they are working on this model if they want to do the replication of this model. We are also working as a knowledge partner for Andhra Pradesh Sector Skill Development Council, and we are also conducting the medicinal chemistry and drug discovery India for hundreds of scientists across the country. We are planning to increase the intake of the students to run these courses in the years coming forward. I think I have 1 more minute. I'm almost closing it. In future, this is exactly we are working on. This is the short-term goals we have. In the next year or two, we are introducing new programs in the areas of integrated drug discovery in collaboration with NIPER, sterile manufacturing in collaboration with BITS Pilani, MBA in biotechnology. This is a tripartite between Symbiosis University, K Graduate Institute, and Biocon. We have already received only one award, that is the Best Social Institute Award from the Karnataka government. And we have a state-of-the-art facility which really supports both from the look and feel perspective for the young students we are dealing with, as well as it is motivating the learning environment. Thank you very much for your kind listening. I'm open for the questions.
You are already a highly specialized area, such a specialized training. By the way, what is the criteria for selecting this?
Excellent. I think I'm understanding the question as what is the criteria for selection of the students to the programs. Okay, as far as the selection criteria is concerned, particularly
Yes.
we want to, thank you, sir. We want to help the students who are not employable only because of skill deficit. We are not looking at the high cream students who are anyway getting employment or the PhD opportunities, as well as we are not looking at the candidates who are not employable because of their poor educational capability. We are looking at the mid-level students who have the ability to grasp the knowledge, but just because they are less in skills, they are not able to get a job. That is exactly the cream we are looking at. So we are looking at 65% and above in their educational curriculum, in their educational performance, and particular type of degree, master's degree or undergraduate degree, based on the type of the program we are offering for them. That is the criteria.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, please.
No problem.
Sir, in India, we are producing a large number of engineers. And whenever they do their BTech, they are not employable. Means they are not like electrical engineer. He cannot do anything. His skill set is not that much good that he is readily able to join the job. So what do you suggest in that regard? How should we revamp our Indian system so that the youths are employable?
It is a very, very significant question you have asked, and thank you very much for that. I would like to really keep one word in place in the entire question is the domain. What actually is happening is, in spite of the students doing BTech in biotechnology, they are going and joining IT company and doing coding, just because of the reason that they want to somehow get employed. If we actually start encouraging a lot of companies to get into the model of skill development, that is the only way we will be able to accommodate the specific skilled students into specific industries. And Biocon Academy is one such initiative. We are really looking forward for many such industries to come forward in India to enhance the ecosystem overall.
I wish you all the best. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Hi. So myself actually Aloysius, Chief Marketing Officer of Ares International Maritime Research Institute. So before moving to the main slides, actually I would like to present that our institute actually focus on the students to get the skill gap education so that they get placed to the industry. We actually take students only according to the requirement coming from this maritime industry. Our company is already connected to our main company, that is Ares Group of companies. We all having many connections to many other maritime companies. So we only take students where they actually get a placement for sure, and we are actually connecting them to the industry with that skill gap. We are actually clearing that skill gap and giving the proper education what they need. So we have actually launched in 2014. It's our actually 9th year. And as I mentioned, ours is actually a part of Ares Group of companies. And we are actually having 57 companies inside it. And as I mentioned, we are actually accredited to National Council of Technology and Training and certified silver partner of NIBOSH, and also an auditor of ISO, Wismamax, Arisplex, and other bodies, other marine bodies. Sir, yes, we are actually 9 years. We are actually having 700 students right now, and we have 100% placement. So coming to our batches, we don't have a lot of students in a batch. We will only take like 10 to 15 students, where a need coming from an industry approaches, a maritime industry approaches, and then we take the students accordingly. We'll be having inquiries coming like around like 50 to 60 students. But we will be having a proper interview for them and some affirmative examinations. Then we will take them to the course, which will be around 3 to 6 month course, maybe 1 month course, no more than 1 year. And coming to the other part, sir, we have actually having classes by industry veterans and having a good industry tie-ups, and we have a good placement track record. And also, so the very important part is that the innovative part what we are working on is actually we are more into focus on the visual medium training, not like a paperwork or like a PPT or like that, but more into the proper visual media, where we is actually having a proper theater in our institute, which I'm going to cover on the next slide. That is the educational 3D theater. We have set up a proper 70-seater educational 3D theater, including the 7.1 audio system and a full HD projector, where we see that a normal student in a classroom will acquire only 30 to 40% of what trainer is actually teaching. But when it comes to a video training, he or she might get a engagement around 70 to 80%. So we have moved many of our materials into this theater setup, where we actually teach where the students come to theater every day, having a 1 hour session there, and they actually get acquired the knowledge from through the theater. And so on the other part, we also have this honorary doctorate session where we have seen a lot of people where they get the doctorate according to their thesis, according to their all the PhD stuffs and all. But there are people who is actually onto some field, like 25 years in some field, but they don't have these kind of papers to submit like that. But they are actually experienced in that field. We recognize that kind of personalities, and we kind of collaborate with the university, and we provide honorary industrial doctorate to those personalities. And sir, according to our research center, we are actually a maritime institute, along with we are actually having a research center where we have developed a software that is FSM. FSM is actually software where we actually define an efficiency of a person. The institute actually is connected to our company, where we have tested this FSM software in the company with all our individuals, where we actually have every person's time to be allocated to each job. So likewise, we have actually connected all our students to the software FSM, and in FSM, they actually allocate their time to some of their training sections, and to their family time, to their friends time, to their entertainment time. Everything will be connected to that, so that they will be having 100% efficiency in their life. And for that, it is not just a software. We are actually connecting that to a certification program, that is HERTOS certification program. So once they are actually inactive in FSM, they have to come to an examination that is actually HERTOS. And how we coincide the name HERTOS is that we know the normal story, that is a hare and a tortoise who is actually running to win the prize. And we know that tortoise won the prize and hare didn't. But hare is actually having the speed, and tortoise is actually having the brain, the mindful brain. So we want the combination of this hare as well as the tortoise to come to the place and have the maximum efficiency. And likewise, we are actually moving this FSM software to make each individual to be at maximum. And once they completed the FSM, they will be going to this HERTOS certification, where they will be having level 2, level 1, level 2, level 3 examinations, and they will be certified accordingly. And so coming to the very important aspect of AIMRI, that is Ares International Maritime Research Institute, we are moving into metaverse technology, sir. We are actually, as I mentioned, we are more into this visual medium. We are also interested to develop, not interested, we are actually developing the metaverse environment in our institute. We are actually converting our physical institute completely into the metaverse. We had already launched our concept in Hyderabad in an India Joy event. And right now we are on the developing stage, where we have tested with many of the students, and the students are so much interested. Rather than this video technology like a theater, they are more interested to be in the metaverse. So coming to this metaverse, it is actually a technology where it's actually running in Web 3.0. Let me say Web 3.0 is actually far superior compared to Web 1.0, where Web 1.0 was we are just sending the emails to Hotmail or Gmail. And in Web 2.0, we were just using this Uber or services like we getting services from the internet. And in Web 3.0, where the metaverse comes, is the place where we are inside the internet. We are completely inside the internet. So what we are offering is we are actually putting the education inside this immersive area, inside this metaverse. So the student is actually inside a classroom. They can feel the classroom. They are actually part of this immersive experience. So let's say example, like we are actually teaching about a ship. A ship, we are actually going inside the ship, a technical part of ship. When it comes to a video, we are just presenting the ship important part. But when it comes to metaverse, they can literally zoom in the 3D part of the 3D part of the ship, so that they can measure everything. They can really have a good feeling, as same as they are having a practical section, instead of going to the real area. So that's what we are actually developing that area, the Ares Industrial Metaverse Research Institute. So I'm concluding with that. Any questions, sir?
Thank you, sir. Very good presentation. No doubt about it. And this is also a specialized area because everybody cannot operate in this area.
Yes.
And with the rising expansion of the economy, definitely export and import are bound to increase. And we will need huge manpower in this sector.
Yes.
Thank you very much for contributing to the economy. Excellent work, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, your idea of developing software to judge the efficiency of a person is really unique.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So we have already tested that with our employees. We just started setting that with the employees, and we actually found there is a remarkable change in that, comparing to a normal day of a man or woman. So then we actually collaborated that to our students. Right now, we are actually putting that live to other companies. We are planning to put live to other companies.
Yeah. Have you tried it with the government organizations?
We are in talk with them, but moreover, when we are actually trying for that, we are actually based in Kerala and UAE. And Kerala, the digital university is actually more into like, they want to collaborate with this metaverse technology. They were actually looking upon that part.
Okay, good enough. Thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you, sir.
work.
Thank you.
So we started journey in 2019 in partnership with IIT Hyderabad, where we are incubated along with our first philanthropic partner, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, where we got our first award of Global Grand Challenges, wherein we were one of the first startup, one of the 56 startups who got the winning award as part of, you can say, Global Grand Challenges within 19 countries. And we are incubated at IIT Hyderabad, and 5% equity is held by IIT Hyderabad as part of the incubation partner. So the ultimate motive was to reach the unreached population in partnership with government. For the starting journey was mainly for, you can say, routine immunization in terms of providing vaccination to the children for those vaccines which are available with government. And so the journey was scaled up in 2020-21 while providing our services to government and provide the large-scale vaccination which was needed for the COVID vaccination. So just to giving the perspective in terms of what we do, we partner with the various government ecosystem, and at the same time we partner with various international as well as national philanthropy organizations, including CSR donor partners. And we focus on those hard to reach areas within urban as well as urban periphery and rural populations where government does not have access. And in that regard, we basically enable the government's last delivery mechanism, which can be PHCs or sub-centers, and we become extended arm of government in reaching the specific communities, like you can say people with these. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
So we basically help in terms of reaching the hard to reach populations, that is people with disability, old age populations who are not able to move from their homes, including, you can say, various other population strata, including some slum dwellers or street vendors, including various specific communities, including transgender, female sex workers, HIV patients, migrant workers, trucker communities, and many more. In this particular aspect, within the last financial year, that is financial year 21-22, we scaled our operations from Pune city, and we reached out to more than 40 districts within various states, including Meghalaya, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana, and Tamil Nadu. And at the same time, when we started our, you can say, journey, we were just 15 employees employed in Pune city. And when we reached out to this scale, we were having 1,000+ staffs, which included doctors, nurses, healthcare assistants, frontline workers in terms of community healthcare workers as well as community workers and project coordinators in terms of mobilizing the population, creating awareness about the program and everything. Various strategies were implemented when we wanted to, take the doctor-based mobile vaccination clinic in terms of reaching the hard-to-reach population. So when we say hard to reach, in terms of first and foremost important aspect was that we work closely with the district health officer within those 41 districts and Tehsil health officer, where we closely work with them and do the mapping of those villages which are not having immediate access of government facilities. And typically, we choose those, you can say, villages which are at least 3 or more than 3 kilometers away from government facilities, which can be PHCs or sub-centers. So we work very closely with state immunization officer, district health officer, Tehsil health officer, and at the grassroots level, we work with ANMs, ASHA workers, Anganwadi workers, and Gram Panchayat members in terms of connecting with the community which is residing in the particular villages. And in that perspective, we basically had a project coordinator who will go in a two-wheeler just before the camp is going to happen, at least 2 or 3 days prior. And that particular person will connect with the ASHA worker, Anganwadi worker, then Gram Panchayat members, making sure that, our camp details are available. What is the venue of the camp? What is the timings of the camp, and which vaccines will be available? Will it be for the first dose or second dose or booster dose? And accordingly, they will create announcement. And at the same time, after 3 days, when the camp is going to be conducted, at the time, 4-wheel, typically traveler force-based ambulance will go, and at the same time, we do the announcement in entire village, making sure that everyone knows about the vaccination drive which is going on. And within that particular sub-strategies, we used to identify a particular work sites, like you can say construction sites, or it can be brick based sites, or for example in the Maharashtra, specifically for the manufacturing sites which are related to sugarcane processing and everything, so that we are reaching out to the blue collar workers who does not want to spend their half day in terms of going out, spending travel time, travel cost, and reaching the vaccination sites. Instead, vaccination site was created at their community level so that they can just walk in and they can get vaccination. Apart from that, when the elderly population, if we talk about, so within that village, we also used to have the list of people who need vaccination at their doorstep. So every vaccination unit, mobile vaccination unit, had 2 nurses. So one nurse will take care of the vaccination site where we have conducted the vaccination camp, so that large scale population can take vaccination in the number of 100 to 200 per day. And but we don't want to leave even a single person who cannot, come out because of they are disabled, or they have, you can say, children to take care, or they are elderly people who cannot walk. So in that perspective, we had the mapping, and we used to go at door to door also, and we used to vaccinate at least 15 to 20 such people on a particular day. And importantly, as it was part of COVID mechanism, so every day we used to have, you can say, well, the closely monitoring was used to happen, that, how much vaccination are going to be administered based on the number of population of that particular village, due list for dose 2 or maybe booster doses. And accordingly, we used to plan that how much vaccine vials we need to carry. And accordingly, the cold chain maintenance will be carried out, but we do not want to, take the larger doses of vaccines also, because at the end of the day, we have to give those vaccines back to the respective PHCs from where we are taking the vaccine supply. And at the end of the day, we had to give reports in terms of, how many doses have been administered, and who all beneficiaries have been vaccinated in terms of respective demographics perspective, which we have to enter into the COVID database system. With this aspect, the complete financial year till 31st March, we could reach out to more than 25 lakh population in 41 districts, wherein if you talk about unique number of villages which we have covered, that goes more than 12,000. And if you go in terms of, what kind of strata we have catered to, 47% were those population who are socially disadvantaged. 39% were rural, poor, as well as tribal population, and 14% were residing in urban slum population. Obviously, when we talk about such a large scale operations where, any point in time, more than 200 mobile vaccination units were operating in 41 districts across 6 states. So various, you can say, small or medium level or high challenges were there. One of the challenges was vaccine hesitancy. Rather, I would say, it was kind of misbelief for a particular community specific. And we used to cater to those kind of challenges as per the community specificity. If I talk about, for example, Tamil Nadu, where, there was one specifically few Muslim communities were there who were reluctant in terms of taking vaccination. So over there, we took a help of Maulvi and Masjid, where they were having readily available mic system and speaker system available. So we used to go and talk to the key opinion leaders for that particular community, which is, you can say, Maulvi. And they were, more than happy to connect with us and helping us in terms of, creating announcement on that, on his or her behalf. And we used to have larger number of population. Similarly, be it any other community where, there was one incident in the Satara Karad Tehsil, wherein the street vendors who were, selling vegetables on day-to-day basis, they were afraid of vaccination. In case they will take the vaccination, they will have 1 or 2 days of fever, or there might be, you can say, mishap in terms of, if they lose their life and kind of things. So over there, we used to convince Gram Panchayat members. So Sarpanch came forward and he said that, in front of every, you can say, villagers, he was ready to take the vaccination. So he addressed the entire village and he said that, in front of you, I'm the one who is taking the vaccination provided by this particular van in partnership with government. And that's how we could, in that particular village, we could vaccinate almost 50 plus villagers. Similarly, there are other challenges were there in terms of language barriers when it comes to, migrant workers. We used to hire local staffs, be it, you can say, nursing staff or doctors, or you can say the local community health workers. But still, when it comes to migrant population, they had their own language barriers. Over there, we used to take help of ASHA, ANMs, as well as the person who has expertise of that particular language. Then obviously we had hard to reach villages. If you talk about, you can say, Meghalaya.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. Have another 2 minutes.
Yeah, certainly. So there were many challenges which we could tackle very well. And in that particular aspect, the learnings which we had from Vaccine on Wheels in terms of, taking the vaccination services, we scaled up our operations, and recently we introduced new innovations within the mobile medical care, that is Health and Wellness Center on Wheels and Cancer Care on Wheels, wherein now we are doing screening of breast, cervical, oral cancer, and apart from that, more than 15 other disease conditions within non-communicable disease, communicable disease, eye health checkup, as well as complete ANC care. Pregnant woman care is being taken care within the Jharkhand state and Assam state, which we have recently implemented in various partnerships. These are our government partners, which we across worked in different states. And these are our corporate partners, including strategic partners, Boston Consulting Group, USAID, and many more were there as our strategic partners as well. These are some of our awards which we have received. Even recently, Startup India has announced and given the recognition as innovative startup within the framework of service innovations. Obviously, there are other awards wherein we have been published our case study at Ivy Publishing. Now, IIT Delhi is writing case study on our vaccination journey and how we are scaling up as a Jivika healthcare as a startup, and that case study will come very soon. And these are our, we can see some of the awards. Thank you so much. Look forward for questions.
Also, thank you so much, sir. Very good contribution. In fact, this was a vote. You have cooperated. The state government carried a lot of healthcare initiative on their behalf. It is truly a public-private partnership. Excellent work, sir. I have all the appreciation for the excellent work.
Thank you so much, sir.
No specific questions, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone on the panel and my co-participants. A warm welcome, warm greetings from Jigitsa Healthcare Limited. Jigitsa is a word that has come in from Jigyasa and Chikitsa put together. Both are Sanskrit words. It's a very difficult name for some people out there, but this is the origin of the name. We started off in 2002 with 4 ambulances in Bombay. And we have grown leaps and bounds over the years. Primarily, we are focused on government business. We partner with governments, various state governments and PSUs to operate the ambulance service on their behalf. We also have a private business with us. So we have a pan-India network in so many formats. We have a 108, we have a 102, we have a 103, which is the NHAI project in Orissa. We operate the integrated patient transport and health helpline services for and on behalf of government of Orissa. So I would focus more on Orissa today in my presentation. So we also have international operations in Dubai, and apart from ambulance service, we are also into health helplines. We are into MMUs, medical rooms, and corporate health solutions we keep providing. So if I'm looking at Orissa, so Orissa is one of the few not so developed backward states in the eastern part of the country, and we are not very small. We are the 8th largest state in the country with a population of 4.5 crores. Mostly we have exposure to the coast, so we have a marine reach as well. So people here mostly speak Odia. Odia is the mother tongue of mostly people here. We have a fairly good literacy rate of 72%, and this is the 6th largest state in terms of economy in the country. So the total population is 4.5 crores, of which 30 districts. We have 314 blocks and 6,234 panchayats. So this service was started off in 2013 with 280 ambulances. It was further expanded, augmented with 140 ambulances in 2013 only. In phase 3, we had added another 92 ambulances in 2017 and 500 ambulances again in 2014. We have a health helpline as well, which is a 20-seater call center. So as on date, we have 624 road ambulances in 108. We have 500 Janani ambulances. We have 6 boat ambulances, and we have a 25-seater health helpline in 104. So till date, we have served more than 50 lakh people in 108 and more than 41 lakh people in 102. So this is how a typically call a patient is served. When we have a call, it is received at our centralized call center in Bhubaneswar. Bhubaneswar is the state capital of Orissa. And these calls come directly from the citizens or also forwarded from other helpline numbers like dial 100, dial 112, 104, 102. And this is a very robust mechanism we have, and each call is answered maximum within 10 seconds of hitting the dialer. So once we receive a call, we take down minimum details of the patient and we look for the nearest ambulance on the GPS, and the nearest ambulance is dispatched for the patient. En route, we have a vehicle visit desk which monitors the travel of the ambulance so that it reaches in real good time. And in case our ambulance is not able to reach, we inform the patient that we are not able to reach for whatever reason. And on this, all the calls are recorded, all the movement is recorded, everything is tagged electronically. So, like I said, on an average, we dispatch around 4,500 ambulances in a day. 4,500 as in 4,500 patients are served in a day by us in Odisha only in a day. But still, there are around 200 to 250 cases that go unserved due to so many challenges. The major challenge being poor network connectivity across some districts in Odisha. Like I said, Odisha is not one of the most developed states in the country. We have a large cover of forests. We have a large cover of mountains which affect the network connectivity. There's some unmotorable roads as well. Plus, being on the coast, we are also very prone to cyclones and other natural disasters that hit us every year mostly. So these are mainly the challenges we have in the project. But all across, so we have ensured that the service is one of the best in the country, and we have got excellent support from the government of Odisha. And by virtue of which, this is one of the key programs of the government, and we have had teams from all over the country visiting us to study the Odisha model. So this is model. I'll tell you. We have there's a very unique, some of the unique features that we have in this project is we have a single dispatcher come call taker come dispatcher, so that we don't waste time in assigning an ambulances. We have an ambulance updated with 3 manpower. One, we have a driver, helper, and an EMT. And all the ambulances are very adequately positioned across to cover all black spots, to cover all hospitals, and to cover all referral points. Plus, the number of ambulances in Odisha is fairly high. As per WHO standards, we need to have 1 lakh population to 1 ambulance, but Odisha we have around 40,000 to we have 1 ambulance. So all this start with the proper training of the crew. We do extensive training. We train around 1,500 people every month, so that our staff is constantly getting refresher trainings. And further, we also have a bench strength of drivers and pharmacists with us. Our call center is our call center. So we continue to reward and recognize our people. We continue to train them and upgrade them with various technological updates that we have. We constantly connect with our crew in the field so as to avoid any crew unrest, any crew discontent. We have all these town halls and reward recognition programs in the field. We have quality auditors in the field who are based out of major hospitals and who do surprise audits of the ambulance so as to ensure that whatever is desired to be there in the ambulance is available. Plus, the crew and the records that are supposed to be maintained are as per protocol. So this is an ongoing activity. Every month we connect, we meet all, we connect with all ambulances every month, and all the ambulances are audited every month. We also have a very robust quality function in the call center, wherein regular feedback is given to the agents, caller audited, regular feedback is given, and constantly the focus is maintained, because this becomes a very monotonous job after a few days. Every day morning you put on your headphones for 8 hours, and all the day you are doing the same thing, so you kind of get monotonous and get there's a bit of redundancy that creeps in. So we keep mentoring our people so that the alert is always there. Plus, we also have the best of the technology available with us. All the call center is equipped with the best of the technology, be it in terms of GPS, GIS, be it in some of the customer service CRM software, the tracking. Everything is done electronically with the latest technology. We have a panel of doctors with us, 5 doctors in fact, who constantly keep providing refresher trainings to all our pharmacists who are on board of the ambulance. Our ambulance have to the upkeep of the ambulance has to be extremely good. We constantly do cleanup activities every day. We have a policy of cleaning 1 ambulances in each cluster every day, and the ambulance is deep cleaned. And the crew take a lot of pride in operating a clean and a very waterable ambulance. Of course, to take real-time feedback from the authorities, we have every month we ensure to meet up with the district authorities to take their feedback and update the latest reports with them. So by constant participation of the government, the services continues to excel every day. So we also ensure safe driving of the crew. So we have put up safety stickers inside the ambulance. We do surprise visits on the field every day. We do surprise night visits in the day, and we have a very robust operations team in the field who ensure that all the protocols are maintained and no one is involved in any wrong activity. And as part of our R&R programs, we do a scholarship program for the crew, for the children of our ambulance crew, and award them with cash awards, and as well as actually assistance for further study. We organize cricket tournaments, cooking competition, all this among the staff on periodic intervals to keep up the morale. We also give out messages to the society where on road safety activities, World AIDS Day, plantation, clean fuel, green fuel. So we get the message across. So COVID was a very very new thing, and it caught everyone by surprise. And from Orissa, India as such was not very prepared. So Orissa being a small state, we were also not very not very prepared to handle COVID when it hit us. So initially in the month of March 2020, when COVID became a global pandemic, we had our 104 call center, which was initially only for doctor consultation. It became the COVID helpline for the state, and every day earlier we used to get 400 calls in a day, but after the government of Orissa announced 104 as the COVID helpline, and suddenly the calls spiked to 1,500 calls in a day. So on real time, on emergency basis, the manpower was augmented, and we were able to take all calls. Next. So this is the rise in the calls that happened from 586 calls on 13th March to 15,000 calls on 27th March, and this continued till the second wave receded. So we had a multifunctional call center in 104, wherein we had doctors, we had government administrative officers, we had police, so that during lockdown, during COVID for COVID testing, for medical advice, everything.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. I request you please conclude now.
Give me 1 minute. So we got adequate support from the government of Orissa with all food, manpower, everything. So we have been appreciated on different forums because for our good work in COVID. So thank you so much for the time. I'm open for any questions at any.
Thank you, sir. Very good effort. Particularly, you have kept your ambulances on live, and during COVID time, it is really a noble job. By the way, what is your revenue model in this whole exercise?
Sir, we are paid by NHM on a per kilometer basis. We are paid at the rate of 20 rupees per kilometer for travel for the patient transfers only. For the service related jobs, we are not paid. So that is the only mode of payment, and that takes care of all our expenses.
Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. That was the only query which I got in my mind. Otherwise, you have comprehensively covered everything. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
No specific questions, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.